Back-to-back 50-point games for Bernard King.
Jordan trying to shake off Starks. Oh, what a move by Jordan!
Here's Michael at the foul line. A shot on Elo. Good! The Bulls win!
I did not jump out of bed this morning wanting to talk about this topic. LeBron James forced me once again to talk about this topic.
As people that's been around the block for so very long and got a chance to see multiple eras, I get frustrated trying to school these young people on Michael Jordan versus LeBron James.
It was the greatest team to ever assemble. And for us to come back, you know, the way we came back in that fashion, I was like...
It's over! It's over! Cleveland is a city of champions once again. The Cavaliers are NBA champions.
He led the Cavs to the title in 2016, and in the latest episode of More Than an Athlete, he feels like he believed that was the moment he became the best of all time.
No, you're gonna like this. I just told my mother this one on the phone, you know?
I was super ecstatic to win one for Cleveland because of the 52-year drought. Like, I was ecstatic. Like, obviously, I showed that the first wave of emotion was when everyone saw me crying. Like, that was all for 52 years. Everything in sports is going on in Cleveland.
And the emotions for LeBron James, who delivers on his promise to come home and bring a championship to his beloved hometown.
Like, when he came back to beat the Warriors down 3-1, that's when I saw that will to win.
Yeah.
That instinct. But that's the only time I've ever seen it in him.
That one right there made you the greatest player of all time.
What the fuck is this?
Jesus Christ. What the fuck is going on here?
Fuck all that, dude.
Are you kidding?
LeBron James claiming that he is the greatest of all time because he brought Cleveland a championship over the Warriors.
Who the hell told you you did enough to eclipse Michael Jordan?
That one right there made me the greatest player of all time.
For
That's
so
what
many
I felt.
reasons. Jesus Christ.
He's full of shit. The blasphemy! The blasphemy!
That's a remarkably idiotic thing that you just said.
No.
You haven't. And that's really what this comes down to.
What do you think about LeBron saying this?
Here you go. You've been asked for my post on the greatest of all time. First, this gonna hurt some feelings.
That LeBron is better than Michael Jordan was is, to me, sacrilegious, and I'm not trying to hear it.
But him saying he's the greatest player of all time, come on.
Well, you said...
Come on,
you mentioned...
Stephen A., let me ask you this. Can the Kings still do anything to pass MJ as the GOAT?
No.
It's fucking nuts.
And everybody knows I love LeBron, but I'm going to call timeout on this one.
If you're saying you're the GOAT, you're saying that at that point, you realized you were better than Michael Jordan. Well, damn it, he might be the only one.
Listen up, Roscoe. If you're going to try and stick us with that phony charge, you're going to have to catch us first.
He's saying that because they pulled off an upset, which in hindsight doesn't look like that big of an upset, that makes you the greatest player ever just because you pulled that off?
I respectfully disagree. I don't ever want to hear anybody tell me that he is number one over Michael Jordan. I don't want to hear it.
The next person who walks up to me and say, LeBron James, who is amazing, as good as Michael Jordan, or competes like Michael Jordan, I'm just going to slap the hell out of you right on the spot, and I'm going to take my chances with the judicial system.
See, I knew you weren't going to freeze.
Your single greatest achievement doesn't make you the greatest basketball player of all time.
Well, not today.
When I first watched this last night, and I don't do this very often, I laughed out loud.
I shot the sheriff.
Oh, my God. Yeah, so...
You know, I hate an ingrate that ain't grateful for the things he ain't never had.
Especially when you're sitting with your childhood friends, because none of your childhood friends are going to say, hold on just a second, LeBron. You better pull back on that one.
Why is LeBron doing this? Because LeBron has more media outlets than anybody. What we need in 2019 is one more show with LeBron where he sits around talking about himself and his buddies all kind of nod. And
it was so ridiculous.
I got to get me a show with my childhood buddies and we can just sit around and just tell lies to each other.
Don't do that.
Oh.
That was insane.
And I know they had a great regular season record.
73-9.
Yeah. Did they have Kevin Durant?
Because if he was the greatest then, well, why wasn't he the greatest the next year
when the Warriors added Kevin Durant, and Durant was better in the second half and hit the essentially the series ceiling shot right in his eye.
Kevin Durant way outside, delivers! Kevin Durant from downtown. It's a 6-point game.
I mean, my goodness.
I feel like it's almost him pumping himself up.
What arguments does LeBron have? He has two. One, longevity.
Yeah.
Career value based on longevity.
His career's not over. I'd just like to, why he's saying that, I don't know.
Because he realizes at this point he's not going to catch MJ in terms of championships. That ship has sailed.
So why say
His numbers are not as good. The advanced analytics who look at them both have Jordan's peak ahead of LeBron's.
Well, do you think that LeBron is being manipulative through the media by trying to sort of push that he's the greatest of all time?
I think that's actually well said.
I'm wondering, does he feel like this is a way to get myself on the top of that discussion? Now, you and I agree, he's not the GOAT.
Ugh! And two, these kind of things, these kind of narrative, these kind of stories that try to capture your imagination. That's why he said it. It's because it's one of the two pillars of his argument.
What ends up happening is, and LeBron James is genius at doing this, he's creating a narrative of recency bias.
Maybe he thinks that sells. Maybe he's taking the Donald Trump approach and trying to sell himself.
He said that LeBron, by saying this, was taking the, quote, Donald Trump approach and was really selling himself. Kind of, as you said, sort of trying to control the narrative.
His career's not over. I'd just like to know why he's saying that. I don't know. Maybe he thinks that sells. Maybe he's taking the Donald Trump approach and trying to sell himself. I don't know.
My problem is more so with LeBron.
You can't call yourself the greatest of all time, especially not when you're still playing.
Hey, you guys did nice stuff, but hey, it's all about me.
LeBron James came into the NBA wearing what number? What belief did he have? What was he trying to slay? So the target was MJ.
Doug, do you have a problem with LeBron James saying this?
Thinking it, no. Saying it, yeah. I don't think that's something others say about you.
Chris, is this crazy for LeBron to say?
That's your boy, Chris.
He should. Look, he can feel that way, that he's the greatest player. But I'm surprised he said it.
I don't remember any other player ever coming out and saying, I'm the greatest of all time.
I've never heard one of the greatest say they were the greatest of all time. That was very interesting to me.
I don't think there's anything wrong with thinking it. I think there's something wrong with saying it.
It's kind of like giving yourself a nickname. You really just can't do that.
You got more twists and turns than a corkscrew, boss.
It's not classy. You're not supposed to pat yourself on the back. That's what other people say about you.
If you are the greatest player, if people are saying you are the greatest player, or if people are saying Michael Jordan is the greatest player, why do you need to say it?
There's a certain thing about greatness that demands that you have humility.
I don't believe that would have happened if he had been in the same era as Michael Jordan.
A lot of people call Tom Brady the GOAT. Have you ever heard Tom Brady say he's the GOAT? Of course not.
Michael Jordan has never, ever said he's the greatest player to ever play the game. Why? He's respected all the other players before him.
I have never heard Michael Jordan say he's the greatest of all time. Yeah. Even though he may think that, even though Kareem may think that, right? You just don't come out and say that.
I mean, there's an interview that's floating around on social media where Michael Wilbon asked Michael Jordan, this is while Michael Jordan was playing, about, hey, people were saying you're the greatest of all time. And Jordan deflected saying, look, that's disrespectful to guys I never played against.
I don't want it in a sense because I think it disrespects Wilt Chamberlain, Jerry West, all the guys that prior to me, I never had a chance to play against.
I've talked with Michael Jordan, texted with Michael Jordan about, the GOAT conversation, this and that. And Jordan always says you can't compare eras.
When I hear it, I cringe a little bit because, it's a little bit embarrassing because no one knows. you know, I never had the chance once again to play against those guys.
Now, if anybody could say they're the GOAT, it's Michael Jordan. He's never said it.
You know, what everybody's saying I am, I never had the chance to compete against other legends that was prior to me.
I think LeBron is a great player. Yeah. I just think that's disrespectful, honestly, to Bill Russell. What did Bill Russell do? Won every time. He said, all right, fellas, you want to win? Come with me, we'll go on the floor. That's what this game's all about.
I don't think LeBron better than Magic.
Two of my good, Larry and Magic. I mean, just led teams and turned the league around. You don't need to say that about yourself. Let other people say that for you.
And that's the problem with it. LeBron knows he's not, so he's the one going out trying to, you know, promote himself and put it out there.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
So for LeBron to say that, he's sort of pulling himself out of it because you can't say you're the greatest player. You have to allow your peers in the world to say that.
But let other people say that for you. Yeah. To me, it's just disrespectful for a lot of people that came before you that were great, great, great players.
And LeBron comes off bad when he's the one who has to go around and promote himself and tell everybody that that was the moment. He didn't win that by himself. He had other teammates.
You can't say Cleveland hadn't won in 52 years. Well, Chicago was a joke of a franchise before Michael Jordan got there.
I'm glad you brought that up.
He turned them into a dynasty, not just one championship.
Sacrifice is when you don't want to do something, but you're willing to do it for the better whole. LeBron has always been LeBron.
That win, beating that team, made him the greatest of all time. Maybe if he would have hit that shot that Kyrie hit,
I mean, that is a
I
part
could
of the
see
narrative.
him maybe saying that.
Other people had to take different roles that they may have not wanted to take because of him. That is fact.
Picked up by Steph Curry, 6 to shoot. He's at the right point. He stutter steps. He launches a 3. Hey!
That is entirely different than you struggling from a heart perspective.
Irving raises up, contested 3 is up and good for Kyrie Irving.
We got Kyrie Irving here. He played with
It is
LeBron
a constant
James.
debate. It is
It's
never
a constant
ends.
debate. Has he reached that?
No.
Oh, God, Jason, love it. Your own kin put the finger on you.
Quote, first of all, I love LeBron. I have nothing but love for LeBron. That he's the best player of his generation, one of the best ever, great husband, great father, great role model. And it's even beyond that. What's he doing with that school in Akron? It is a beautiful thing.
James looks, sees an opening. Wild pass picked up by Ginobili. And he's fouled by Allen. LeBron James.
Nice.
Ripped by Michael Carter Williams. He took it away. Here's Turner gliding in. Missed it. Anderson on the follow. Ball is loose. Who's got it?
LeBron just don't have that, so we shouldn't expect that from him. He's never had dog to me. He's just always been great. He's never had the dog in him that Kobe and Jordan had. I've never seen that. I've just seen a great player. So when you say he doesn't have the dog in him, I agree with you because I've never seen it.
James on the drive, goes inside, misses, home goal, overtime. For the lead against Hawes, forced it up, rebound taken by Michael Carter Williams.
He can get all those guys involved, but when you're talking about 2 minutes to go,
That's a different conversation.
2 minutes to go.
James catches, puts up a 3, won't go.
I think we clearly know who LeBron James is. He's not a fourth quarter killer. He's everything else except that.
LeBron has never been that. LeBron ain't built like that.
James puts it up, won't go. Garnett the rebound at the buzzer, and we go to overtime in game 2.
LeBron James always preferred being that way.
Are you kidding me? Rebound Harden, fouled with 1.5 to go.
That's my problem. I can't handle pressure.
We're giving LeBron James the ball. Yeah. Take us home.
Different conversation.
Take us home, LeBron.
That's not the...
On a switch, James, shot doesn't go. Raptors win.
But it's been that way, though. LeBron ain't just came into the league 14 years in. He ain't just come into the league, but that's been his mentality.
LeBron is not the guy that wants to take that last shot. That's not how he plays the game.
And Jordan was so much a killer in the fourth quarter and in the games. I just think that takes it off the table. and we need to move on.
I'm saying that when you're talking about the greatest ever and that conversation formulates, you're looking at that extra little something inside somebody's chest that's going to go all out. And that's that.
Gee, that's a shame. Everybody knows your name. You get another ticket for that one.
We're talking about Mike. We're talking about Mike, okay? We're talking about Black Jesus himself.
LeBron's a terrific scorer. No Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan won 10 scoring titles. 10 to LeBron's 1. 10 to 1. Wow. Okay.
Michael Jordan was a scorer first, second, and third.
Both teams shooting the penalty. Here's Jordan working against Tittles on the turnaround. Michael Jordan now with 31 points.
Jordan went 7 consecutive years averaging 30-plus. For 13 years in Chicago, he shot 50.5% from the field.
How did Michael Jordan win 10 scoring titles to LeBron's 1 scoring title? And LeBron has the audacity to tell his buddies, that one upset made me the greatest. Really? Stop it.
LeBron's only led the league in one thing, one time, scoring one time.
In the 12 years that Michael Jordan was in the playoffs, he never averaged less than 30. Ever.
Jordan, crossover. Slam. Excuse me. I'm sorry. Oh, my God.
If you're talking about pure athlete, Jordan's become underrated.
Here's Michael.
Now watch when he takes off. Look at the way he moves the ball from the right down low to the left, 2 hands, and throws it through with authority.
This idea that LeBron is this, well, he's a greater athlete. You know, Michael Jordan has the all-time highest vertical in the history of the NBA, 48 inches.
He gave him the crossover, then he shook him with the hop step, rise.
As an athlete, Michael Jordan, people forget now. There were articles in Sports Illustrated like, is he defying gravity somehow? Why is he able to hang in the air so much longer than everyone else?
How long he stays up there. Changes it in his hands twice.
Look at the air. Look at the hang time. Look at the flying motion. And he took off further inside than he did the last time.
Michael Jordan was the mentally toughest athlete I was ever around in any sport. And I've been doing this for a long time in a lot of sports.
When the moments mattered most and he was called upon to deliver, he rarely, if ever, let us down.
5.2 seconds left. Michael Jordan running on fumes with 45 points.
Michael Jordan was 6-0 in finals.
6 for 6 with 6 NBA Finals MVP.
Like, it won't matter what they say because that 6-0 is it's an unapproachable record.
LeBron shouldn't be in the same sentence, the same breath, same universe with Michael Jeffrey Jordan.
Arguably the greatest player who ever lived, really indisputable to most of us. 6 NBA Finals, 6 NBA championships, 6 NBA Finals MVPs without ever allowing a Game 7.
Think about this. Michael Jordan went 6-0 in the finals with 6 MVPs. That's hard to do.
We're not. That's not up for
and
debate.
LeBron is still 3-6 in the
But
finals.
you
And wait a second.
If you're going to give LeBron credit for all the metrics, all the numbers, also give him credit for those NBA losses because he lost in those championship games.
So how could that moment, what about the 6 losses in the NBA Finals? That didn't count?
LeBron James has lost 6 NBA Finals.
When you lose 6 NBA Finals.
And by the way, in the middle of that series, he got suspended for calling LeBron James the B word in the middle of a basketball game.
LeBron took it out on him.
So he called what you say is the GOAT, the B word?
Draymond told the undefeated his reaction to LeBron was because the Cavs star was disrespectful by stepping over him.
You got to immediately get in somebody's ass when that happens to you. You pull their asshole open, step into their asshole.
Swatting King James and the crown jewels. As many people have seen on the replays, Draymond tried to hit him in the private parts. That up. Quick workout at the gym. This car wash. He said Draymond Green called him the B word.
Trust me, nobody ever even dared to think of calling Michael Jordan that word. Nobody even dared to let the thought enter the very back of their mind. In the deepest recesses of their psyche, they never thought of Michael as that word.
It boils down to mentality. Like, LeBron's a hell of a talent. Can't take nothing. Like, he makes everybody around him better. We know that. But it's just like
That's
like,
kind of debatable too, though.
Not those, the Nikes, the fucking LeBrons or whatever.
Go around, look down. Kids are wearing Michael's shoes. More than LeBron's shoes. Michael's still with us.
I'm sorry, I gotta go someplace that's tough.
I agree.
Did Jordan ever run to someone else and say, help me? No, he didn't. No.
He never had to leave teams. You know why? Because he was going to make his team find a way to win the championship when he was there. Why did LeBron leave Cleveland?
What that nigga do? I don't know, he looked like he's a magician.
For me, it comes down to mentality.
Who would win one-on-one? Michael Jordan would destroy LeBron James. Trust me on this. I know. I've seen Michael destroy other players. Explosive leaper. And in the end, he would trash talk poor LeBron James into oblivion. I have seen him destroy psychologically one star after another just by whispering in their ear. You ain't, you know what? You got no chance against me. I can't say the words, but you know what I'm thinking. And he would be all over LeBron psychologically.
Just the most unfathomable physical advantages.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
I don't think LeBron better than Kobe.
LeBron James would have like an unfathomable physical advantage over someone who would have an unfathomable physical advantage over you.
Big as strong as he is, if there's a center up under there, LeBron won't try to dunk on him.
Toodaloo.
My son Dwight was probably the best shot blocker in the league at the time. Did you see what Kobe did to him?
He came down the lane and dunked it so hard, and it was just like, boom. Then I heard, oh, and I just got dunked on.
Hold this. I'm gonna go up in your chest. You're a shot blocker. Watch this.
Nuts on your neck.
Yeah.
Posterizes Dwight Howard.
And that's like the first time I ever been dunked on my whole life.
He ain't going up through your chest.
Right.
Like, hold this.
Posterizes Dwight Howard.
That's a mentality, man. And that says a lot, like, for somebody like me. I look at that.
As much as I like LeBron and he's one of the greatest I've seen, why do they just brush him past Kobe Bryant?
And I think the closest thing to Michael Jordan, in my opinion, is Kobe Bryant.
Yep.
Because of the mentality. Like, by any means necessary.
And Michael Jordan was the best player, the greatest player in my era. There's been a lot of great players in this league, and it's hard to, to give one player that best ever crown. But all I can say is in my era, Michael Jordan was the best player in my era. And he's, I haven't seen anybody else. Kobe is, I guess, came the closest to him.
I ain't never seen Kobe or Mike look hopeless.
Yeah, like
sometimes you look at LeBron, you're like, they gonna lose.
Yeah, like it's just like that demeanor at times,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? Like, and I've never seen that out of Mike or Kobe.
The reason why I like Kobe, relentless. He the Mamba. That killer attitude.
Killer.
He's gonna go out and play hard every night.
Opening night, he scored 45. I love Kobe. For me, he's the best player. I think he's our mentor.
Mamba mentality.
He's not gonna care who he's playing against. He don't want to work out with you if you're on another team and be your friend in the summertime. I love the fact he has that killer instinct. He's about him and his team. Kobe's different. He's a killer.
I totally believe that Kobe Bryant believes that either Michael Jordan or himself being Kobe. I believe that even if he'll never say it, he definitely believes that both MJ and Kobe are better than LeBron.
I'm Team Kobe.
Because?
Just mentality. He's the closest thing, in my opinion, to Michael Jordan.
No, I gotta go with Kobe Bryant. I gotta go.
Why?
Because, God, man, he just.
At the Garden that opened in '68, he has just equaled the mark of Bernard King with 60 at an incredible level. He's got it. Kobe Bryant has now scored more points than any other player at Madison Square Garden.
I really feel like he's like, man, that's an immature question because we already know what it is, fam. He just knows that in this social media age, the repercussions would be ridiculous.
I look at Kobe Bryant as that guy that is the best, one of the best in our league. Every time when I'm not playing, if the Lakers on TV, I'm watching them.
LeBron wasn't voted the guy because everybody knew LeBron wasn't the guy you wanted to have the ball at the end of the game.
He's amazing, man. I mean, the way he just take it to another level when you have to, you know. You kind of, when you got a team like that and things not going, everybody missing shots, you kind of have that one guy like Kobe who just come through and just give you 4 or 5 big baskets in a row, and that's what he do. You know, that would separate him.
If for the last shot, the last guy I want is LeBron James. I want Kobe. I want Kobe to have the ball in his hands.
Right. Just like Brady.
You're right. He's the closest thing to Michael, and Michael is, closed case, the best ever.
What about that period between when Shaq left and when Pau Gasol got there? Tell me what it was like for Kobe, Skip.
What do you mean what it was like?
It's not wise, especially when he gets on my man, the Black Mamba.
Won 2 more rings. That's what it was like? He could never catch Kobe at 5 finals victories to only 2 losses. And if we have to just do pure talent, explosive talent, man, I got to tell you, Kobe is right there with LeBron James to me because Kobe is such a great shooter of the basketball, and then we can get into intangibles, deadly shooting, fourth quarter shooting, clutch shooting. On pure talent, I would have to put Kobe right there with LeBron, but I don't think that's the issue here.
I definitely look at Kobe as that guy that, you know, he's that guy.
Who had to leave Cleveland to join forces with Chris Bosh and Dwayne Wade.
LeBron didn't win a title until he joined Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh. He didn't win a 3rd title until he joined Kyrie Irving and made sure he got Kevin Love to come from Minnesota as well. And so when we pay attention to those kind of things, as great as LeBron is, we also act too much like it's just LeBron, LeBron, LeBron. But LeBron was very adroit, very skilled, very smart in who he decided to join forces with. And that had a lot to do with the success that he ultimately was reaped. Now, he doesn't deserve to be excoriated for that because it's a team game and you can't win by yourself. But he went about the business. He didn't inherit anything. He put himself in a position as a free agent where he went to in Miami. He came back to a situation in Cleveland that was conducive to winning. He stayed within the Eastern Conference throughout his career because it's been considerably weaker than the West for pretty much the last decade.
And in their first finals together, LeBron melted down on the national final stage the way we've never seen a superstar melt down.
I'm watching him. I'm trying to learn from him and see how he may be attacking this certain team that he's playing.
The chosen one became the frozen one. Would that have happened to Kobe Bean Bryant? You know and I know. Game over would not have happened.
You know, these guys always say, well, Charles ain't on this list because he don't have a ring. That's fair. I accept that. But Kobe's got 5 rings, and he's the closest I've seen to Michael Jordan. Why? Because we're living in the moment. And he's got 2 more rings than LeBron. I've said this. In my top 5, Kobe's number 6, LeBron is number 7. And listen, and that's no disrespect, but I'm not going to move LeBron past Kobe.
Out of sight, how you gonna see me when you see me? I'm E.T., 3D, chilling at the safe house, waiting on a spaceship to get me to the Cape route. I'ma let them things fly. If you play with J Cloud, eat you from the inside. We ain't getting takeout, so break out. I ain't the kind of rapper you test. No, I ain't shedding skin, but I'm cracking the flesh. Right.
Y'all watching.
LeBron James, you know, would be number 2, you know, to me. But right now, I gotta go with Kobe.
Play if you dare. That 80 gon' flare. Rock and recline you like a lazy boy chair. Ligaments damaged in. Need to get repaired again.
That will to win.
Think my bullets come with free shipping and handling. Money back.
We now return to your regular programming.
LeBron talks about what it took for him to get to that point, like losing in the finals to the Dallas Mavericks was his greatest achievement. That, to me, in a lot of people's eyes, that's when he choked. He scored 8 points in an NBA Finals game. It was just an embarrassing performance.
Mentally tough? No.
If LeBron James had Michael Jordan's attitude, do they lose to Dallas? Can J.J. Barea guard him in the finals? Can Jason Terry guard him in the finals? No, it does not happen. It does not happen.
Did Michael Jordan ever disappear in any round of the playoffs, even when he was trying to fight through the Detroit Bad Boy Pistons and Larry Bird's Boston Celtics? Did he ever just disappear? Did anybody ever say, Boy, Michael Jordan had a bad series against the Celtics. Nobody ever said that. The chosen one turned into the frozen one in ways I have never seen a superstar shrink.
That infamous performance against the Dallas Mavericks in the finals, you don't get to shove that aside. That's all a part of the resume.
They have expunged from LeBron's record all those things. They don't count anymore. They're swept under the carpet and into the graveyard as if they never happened. They happened. You can't take them off his legacy.
What I'm proclaiming is that those early years of LeBron James and the suffering he endured because of it against specifically somebody like Michael Jordan, he would have never recovered from that.
My San Antonio Spurs blew LeBron James' heat off the floor by a record finals margin. And I ask you, Shannon Sharp, did Michael Jordan ever get blown off the floor, his team, by any record margin in any round of the playoffs? No.
Well, on the fly pattern to Michael Jordan on the catch, realizing he had a defender there, able in midair to collect himself, go behind his back, and gather himself and still finish the play. A spectacular Michael Jordan play.
A little bit of everything.
And this guy would have never allowed LeBron to elevate because it would have been at his expense, and Jordan would have never allowed that. Never, not in a million years. It would have never been this LeBron, never.
He's a great player in this era, but he's not Michael Jordan. It's two different animals. Michael was a killer. He's an assassin.
Now the Bulls are trying to win it at the buzzer. Jordan has it. Top of the key. Moves up at the buzzer. He did it again.
And then, in the next wave of emotion, I felt sorry for your man, LeBron James.
Why you feeling sorry for the man?
Because there's no law against being publicly delusional.
Michael Air Jeffrey Jordan. Okay. Not only did he win 6 championships, he won 3 in a row twice. He did. How many does LeBron have?
Those 2 three-peats that Jordan has, those are hard to compare anything to.
6-time champion who's never, ever, ever lost an NBA Finals, who, by the way, never even allowed a series to go 7 games. Right. You were right there.
Michael Jordan, other than that first year when Pippen didn't play, when he played a full season and played with at least one other All-Star, didn't win the championship.
Guy won 3 titles, left for 2 years, came back and won 3 more. That is considered greatness to me.
Have won their 6th NBA championship, and it's their 2nd three-peat.
When he came back for the 2nd three-peat, he had to beat first a 60-win Orlando Magic team that had Shaq and Penny and company that had just gone to the finals the year
Dennis
before.
Scott, the whole crew, yep.
That's right. And swept those guys, swept them.
No, I dug that. That's good, because you did your homework, you studied, you learned.
When Jordan and Pippen wanted to clamp down on you and guard you 94 feet, there was nothing you could do.
Michael Jordan really didn't have a mindset of, I don't care if I do tire myself out, I'm going to go and take this guy because I want to prove to him that I am the better basketball player.
I'm looking at Michael and Scotty, and they're ready for, like, blood.
He embraced the toughest defensive assignment night in, night out, during many occasions throughout his career.
We were going to give him the worst experience he ever had on the basketball court.
Look at all the ground this guy covers. Here, down, there.
Stolen by Jordan. He reads it better than anyone. Slam dunk.
Them dudes were all over him.
You got Michael sitting here waiting.
Nothing you could do. They put the clamps on you. Shut it down. I can make an argument that if Jordan hadn't stepped away from the game to go play baseball and all of that stuff, Jordan would have won 8 straight NBA titles.
Name all the guys that he denied, Hall of Famers that he's denied championships. Myself,
Ewing,
Carl, John, Ewing, Chuck, Charles, all the guys that he denied championships. And you might want to throw in Hakeem Olajuwon if he's not batting a .197 and missing fly balls in the outfield. Hakeem Olajuwon may not have 2.
Man, he could have gone 8 for 8.
But Michael Jordan is the only player other than Hakeem Olajuwon, and I've been on the court and was like, he's the best player on the offensive side and the best player on the defensive side.
I think they would have beat Houston.
When people start comparing him with Jordan, then that's not a fair comparison, because Jordan's far more superior player and a very, very tough league.
The game was so different. It was so rough. The path to prosperity was so deep, was so big time. For them to ignore that and to act like today's game is the same is flat out blasphemous. I can't take that. That's my issue. It's not about Jordan in terms of his abilities. Yes, being an all-defensive player of the year, being a guy, that led the league in steals and all of this other stuff. I get all of that. What I'm saying is that's just looking at the numbers. How about the competition? Anybody could be the biggest man on campus in a small man contest.
But in our era, I'm just trying to tell you, we had better basketball players to myself. Yeah. To me, I'm really going to tell you that.
The way the game is played, the game is just a different game today. I would have loved to have seen LeBron play in our era.
Because we had 8, 9 teams that had 4 players on it that could be all-stars. So what I'm saying, so it's it's a different league than what you're talking about right now.
You're using
it's not numbers, man. You talk about fluffed up numbers, man. Of course, it's a different game. It's a different era. Okay. So of course you can put up more numbers and more statistics.
The path to prosperity was so deep, was so big time. For them to ignore that and to act like today's game is the same is flat out blasphemous.
Michael Jordan going to the basket, every play getting beat up, night in, night out. Beat up. LeBron is out there backing down Rozier with no resistance.
Michael Jordan could average 50 or 60 in today's game because of the ways the rules, sort of paves the way for offensive-minded players to really have their way.
MJ played in an era where it was more skill, I believe, in NBA per player, and it was more of a physical type of game. It was a more slowed-down pace.
Was unblemished and undefeated in NBA Finals, never even allowed the Finals to get to a 7th game, was the ultimate assassin.
The legend in crunch time. Oh, smooth move by Michael Jordan.
One man, Michael Jeffrey Jordan, was a basketball assassin.
Michael would love to take the shot now, and he got it again.
When it comes time to close, who you want?
Inbound pass comes into Jordan. Here's Michael at the foul line. A shot on Elo. Good! The Bulls win!
The reason why Michael Jordan was so great was not only because he was clutch, not only because he was a closer, but before he was a closer in terms of championships, Max Kellerman, he was a killer.
Jordan on the drive, right of the lane, 18-footer. Yeah! Yeah!
The ultimate killer and assassin.
Now devolve upon me the painful duty of unleashing upon society a reputed assassin.
Jordan with 2 seconds left. Jordan to win. Michael Jordan being Michael Jordan.
A lot of talk going on these days about who is the greatest ever.
Come on in here, motherfuckers! If you double team, they're going to spot up. Michael finds the opening. Whittington with a jam. 3.1 remaining. Come on, I'm waiting for you.
The Bulls do not have any timeouts remaining. Craig Hodges, the three-point specialist, has checked in. Here's Jordan on the pull-up. Yes! And the game is tied at 92 with 3 4/10 seconds remaining.
About who has the titles, the raw talent, the most clutch moments.
Michael Jeffrey Jordan, mentally toughest, big shot, big play maker ever.
40 seconds remaining in the game. Jordan, yes.
Even the jersey numbers are the same. But maybe the best way to settle this debate is to play it out head to head.
There's nothing but a clue. You got to double team that.
No, the end result is not the same because one guy went 6-0 in the finals with 6 MVPs because he was a basketball killer.
Oh, what a drive. Oh, what a drive.
Jordan on the move, baseline left.
Huh? Oh, no. Oh, no.
Yes.
Leaves the middle open. Jordan, what a move! It count.
I thought Michael Jordan was Jesus Christ, like playing to be Michael Jordan. I swear to God, dog. Listen, man.
Allen Houston guards him. Michael, 3 moves and a basket.
He's attacking me. What is this?
Jordan working on starts. Got him in the air. Michael Jordan has 55. He had to work for them.
Gina, it don't matter about the suit or you know what kind of clothes you got. It's your game. As long as you got skills, and we know I got skills.
Oh, what a move by Jordan on the reverse.
Jordan against Finley. Wingate is on the bench. Here's Michael.
Ball goes around Geiger. MJ double. Oh! Big time reverse.
Woo. If LeBron was playing in the era with Jordan, it would have been, what you gonna do against this guy?
Jordan open. Chicago with the lead.
Jordan was one of those guys that he was not just out to beat you. He was out to annihilate you, to take your heart right out of your chest.
Jordan a drive. 17 seconds from game 7 or from championship number 6. Jordan open. Chicago with the lead. Fires. Yes! The Bulls lead 87-86.
Jordan trying to shake off Starks. Oh, what a move by Jordan.
Michael double teamed on the drive, in for the left, gets chased into the corner, comes right back. Through the foul. Wow.
Oh, powerhouse, JD.
Fucking you up.
Michael Jordan is the greatest basketball player ever. And I disagree with Nick because I saw it and the ability of what he could do when everything was on the line.
He has done big damage in the fourth quarter. Kittles has it knocked away by Michael Jordan. Basket and a foul.
Now, is LeBron better than Michael Jordan?
Why do you keep asking people this question?
No. Because there's a lot of people say that conversation.
No, they don't anymore.
Now, why don't you think so?
LeBron was going to be a great player who dragged his team to the finals if he was in a different conference than Michael Jordan every single year, where he would have lost to Jordan every single year had they played in the same league.
But statistically, it's not close. Michael's better. Analytically, it's not close. Michael's better. Impact on winning and losing, brah, it's not close. Michael's better.
Winning ultimately decides who the greatest players are in the game.
That's where you're disqualified from the Michael Jordan discussion. You're over and you're out. You're null and you're void. Right then and there, you're done.
That one right there made you the greatest player of all time.
Eat shit, motherfucker. Eat shit, motherfucker.
I can't put him at the top.
That's fair.
There's no way I can put him at the top.
That's why you will never be Michael Jordan.
And just listen to me, because I have got a confession to make to you.
You are not better than Michael Jordan was. Plain and simple.
And I don't think anyone's even approached being able to compare Michael Jordan since Michael Jordan has left the game.
And I love the guy. I love watching him. For me, he backed himself up now.
And if he was the greatest player ever, there's no way that he gets to 8 championships and lose 5 of them. If he's the greatest player, he should have won more of those because of his impact on the total game.
That's it. That just sums it up.
So fuck you.
Because if we admit that not all titles are worth the same, not all pieces of evidence have equal weight, then we look back and go, you know, Jordan didn't team up with a bunch of super fans to win some in Miami.
One thing about Chicago, we played Chicago, man, is the fact that we didn't have to buy a championship.
In other words, if you give LeBron credit for this hypothetical championship, you're admitting the ones he won in Miami aren't of equal value and equal weight. And then we compare those against Jordan. And the bottom line is this, in the end, here's the God's honest truth. No matter how much weight we give them, I'll be curious to see what you say about this, Stephen A. But there's just something about below 500 versus undefeated that I can't put you on equal footing.
It's like saying, Kevin, you compare me to Eddie Murphy or Richard Pryor. You can't. I don't care what I do. I don't care what I accomplish. There's no comparison ever because those guys changed the game for me to be here.
He was the first to wear the number 23. He beat everybody who was in his path.
LeBron James took years to get to the point where I thought Jordan always was. There are too many moments along the road where he came up a bit small. He's not Michael Jordan. He's never been Michael Jordan. When you bring up Jordan comparisons, there are too many down moments that he had that we would never associate with Michael Jordan. It's not even a debate to me.
If that's his reputation, if everybody's in agreement, that diminishes him.
Jordan's the greatest ever. It's just that simple.
LeBron has like a lot of posters for teams wanting him there. But isn't it true that Jordan didn't need that because he actually stuck with one team and made an impact in one city rather than moving all over, taking his talents everywhere?
Hear, hear. You joined forces in South Beach. You joined forces in Cleveland. You know, he stacked the deck. He's got one of the top, got one of the top 10 players as a teammate that gets another one.
UNC against Georgetown, Michael Jordan taking you through. We're talking about number 2, the shot that ended Cleveland's career. We're talking number 3 about Jazz in '98.
In terms of clutch?
No clutch gene.
He doesn't show up, but also, I mean, look at when it matters. It's Kyrie who's taking you through with that three-pointer in Game 7.
Leader? No. Big shot taker and maker? No.
Ray Allen, who's forcing a Game 6 against the Spurs with his clutch 3.
LeBron defenders, you blind witnesses out there, I'm right about this. I've always been right about this. LeBron James is afraid to take that shot down one.
When you need someone to come in clutch, when you need someone to show up, Michael Jordan is the guy who's going to come through.
He's chasing the ghost of the GOAT, Michael Jordan. So you can do everything just right. Doesn't mean you're better than Jordan, which he's not.
How many rings does LeBron have? How many rings does Jordan have? Does Jordan have 1 championship? Does he have 3? No, he has a three-peat. 1 three-peat, 2 three-peats.
Mike, 6-0. 6-0.
So you can come back to me when LeBron gets 6 championships.
And then anecdotally, Jordan never, won every finals in under 7 games. Every time he played a full season in his prime with the team, he won the finals. No one challenged him. Not a 63-win Sonics team, not a Malone Stockton Hornacek team, not a Shaq Penny 60-win team that went to the finals the year before. They couldn't take him 7 games. And for those who would say, yeah, but Jordan sometimes didn't get to the finals where LeBron's constantly getting there, the first time Jordan played with an all-star, he got to the Eastern Conference Finals and lost in Game 7 to the eventual champs when the all-star couldn't play in Game 7. Otherwise, they would have won. I'll say that right now. And the next year, they swept him once Pippen reached his prime. So that's who LeBron is chasing.
Let's talk about this competition thing. So you're telling me Larry Bird and the Celtics, the Bad Boy Pistons, Magic, Gary Payton, Malone, Stockton, all these guys are not good at basketball.
The level of resistance compared to your predecessors, particularly somebody like Jordan.
MJ did it all in his career. An NCAA title, Rookie of the Year, 2 gold medals, and 6 NBA championships. But it doesn't end there. Add 5 regular season MVPs, 6 finals most valuable players, and 10 scoring titles, the most in NBA history.
The most advanced metrics, like when you look at the most advanced numbers, the stats favor Jordan. In his prime, he was better than LeBron by the most sophisticated kind of numbers crunching you can do. The most cutting edge ones say, it's close, Jordan was better.
Did you know that the Jordan Bulls never lost 3 consecutive games from 1990 until after he retired? He currently holds the record for most points in a single playoff game with 63 and has 8 50-plus point playoff performances, 4 more than anyone else.
That ends the LeBron-Jordan debate. Once and for all, null and void, over and out. Just forget it. Give it up. Make peace with the fact that LeBron has been the best player of this generation, but he's got no shot against Michael Jordan.
LeBron will never be a greater winner than Michael Jordan, no matter what he does, because of what it took for him to ultimately become a winner. Jordan withstood that better than LeBron did. That's the difference to me.
The greatest player of all time, fuck that. Jordan, Bird, Magic, Kareem, Oscar, Wilt, yes. LeBron never be better than those guys. Never.
LeBron did something Jordan never had to do, went in and beat a 73-win team on the road, by the way, and of all places at the free throw line, he ices the game. So he knows he did something Jordan never had to do. But that's because Jordan was the Golden State Warriors. The team, it's not like LeBron didn't have a chance to play with a lot of great teammates. He made teams, including with Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh and company, including with Kyrie Irving and Kevin Love and company. So he had a lot of talent around him, and yet his team wasn't always Godzilla, right? But Michael Jordan's teams were, because they had Michael Jordan.
People don't understand. It's not his jumping or his jump shot or his defense. It's his inner guts and his inner heart. You're going to have to cut Michael Jordan's heart out to beat him.
There's something compelling about this guy, so likable, so beautiful to watch, and yet with the athletic heart of an assassin, and just look right through you.
That one right there made you the greatest player of all time.
Sorry, Tommy gets a little loaded. He doesn't mean any disrespect.
You don't mean any disrespect, Henry. Are you nuts? He's just kid a little fucking manners.
Now get the fuck out of here.
Oh! End of story.